Hi everyone, my name is Frankie and welcome to a Movie a Day Challenge. Today is day number 275 and it's October 2nd, 2018. Today I'll be watching the 1958 horror film, The Horror of Dracula. Now in each episode of a Movie a Day Challenge, I pick one film that I've never seen before and then I take that movie's movie poster and place it to the side of it. I do this because I absolutely have no idea of what the film that I'm about to watch is about. And being that I have absolutely no clue about the film or what it's about, I feel like I need to draw some type of conclusion of what I think the film may be about, based solely on the movie poster itself. In saying this, let's go ahead and take a look at the 1958 horror film movie poster to The Horror of Dracula. Now, as I look at this movie poster, I have to say one thing. It's pretty cool. You have a woman walking down towards a castle, and you have Dracula looking down at her, basically eyeing his prey from the sky. Now, the movie poster to me comes off as pretty cool. To some, maybe it looks a little odd, a little creepy, maybe weird, but it looks pretty cool. I would see this movie poster as delivering what a Dracula movie poster should be about. I say that because this movie poster seems to catch my eye. It basically makes me want to watch the film for what it's worth. So I'm taking it. The Horror of Dracula is basically about Dracula hunting prey. Female prey. It looks like it's going to be a really cool film, and I can't wait to sit down and enjoy the 1958 horror film, The Horror of Dracula. Now, after I finish analyzing the movie poster itself, I then let you, the viewer, know that I'm going to go ahead and watch The Horror of Dracula. But before I go and do that, I want to let you, the viewer, know that after I finish watching The Horror of Dracula, I then come back and tell you a little bit about the film. However, I don't go in great detail about the movie. You see, I try to tell you, the viewer, very little as possible about the film in general. Why? Well, because I don't want to ruin your chance at watching a really great film for the first time. And since this is also my first time watching The Horror of Dracula, I wouldn't want anyone to tell me any major spoilers about the film or anything about the plot of the film either. That's what I plan on doing for you, the viewer. Just plan on telling you very little as possible about the film in general. This way you can enjoy the film for what it's worth and be entertained by it. Now, in case you have previously seen the 1958 horror film, The Horror of Dracula, previously, then please, feel free to substitute The Horror of Dracula for another film of your choosing. It doesn't even have to be in the genre of horror films. This way you can take part in a Movie a Day Challenge and possibly watch each film along with me as I go along. In saying that, I'm going to go ahead right now and watch the 1958 horror film, The Horror of Dracula, and then I'm going to come back and tell you a little bit about the film. I'll be right back. I just finished the 1958 horror film, The Horror of Dracula, and I want to let you, the viewer, know that The Horror of Dracula is an okay movie. I'm going to be honest with you, the viewer, it's the story that really didn't captivate me. To be quite honest, it's quite boring. In fact, even though I enjoyed the acting by the actors on screen, it was the story within itself that made me feel like I wanted to look away or be on my phone searching Instagram. Now, even though the story does have that, there are some horror scenes within the movie that is worth noting. I really enjoy the scenes of impaling in a way, not to give anything away, but using the word impale, because it gave a new taste towards the character of Dracula and the characters involved in it. Now, this is an entirely original story. Some people may like it, some people may not, but don't go too into it believing it's going to be similar to the Universal Monsters Dracula story. It's not. It's going to have a little bit of it, but not it completely. Although it may have not that many great parts to it, it's an okay story in my opinion. I don't see myself recommending this film to a family member or a friend. To be quite honest, I don't know if I would watch it again at this time, but I would give it a second chance in the future. Now, if you liked today's episode, you see that thumbs up underneath this video? Click it, give us a like for today's episode. As you're doing that, maybe you've seen the 1958 horror film, The Horror of Dracula, and liked it. Maybe you've seen it and you didn't like it. Maybe you're interested in watching this film, watching this review to hear a little bit about it. You're going to go watch it and then come back and write something about it. Well, whichever the three may be, please tell me in the comment box down below. Down there. And as you're doing that, you see that word subscribe underneath this video? Click it. Subscribe to A Movie a Day Challenge. Now, tomorrow is day number 276 of A Movie a Day Challenge, and I'll be watching the 1959 horror film, The Mummy. My name is Frankie. I will be here tomorrow for day number 276 and the 1959 horror film, The Mummy. I will see you tomorrow.